This is as close as you can come in an aluminum boat to fishing out of a fiberglass boat, a Tracker 195. Hey guys and girls, how are y'all doing this afternoon? I hope you're having a great one. We are getting ready to go fishing. It's kind of about, well, it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it got so cold this morning, down to 25 degrees, that I just didn't want to go early. So we're going to go out here and hit the last 4 or 5 hours before dark and see if we can't catch a few fish. But I've been getting several people asking about doing a walkthrough on my Tracker boat, on my aluminum boat. And this is not a boat I fish tournaments with, but it's a boat I fish with a great deal. It's a Tracker 195, Pro Team 195, and it's an extremely, extremely good fishing boat. This is as close as you can come in an aluminum boat to fishing out of a fiberglass boat, a Tracker 195. It is absolutely an amazing boat. I just wanted to show you the way I've got it I didn't change much. This is sort of a standard boat you buy directly from the Tracker dealers all around the country. We are a Tracker dealer there, Jimmy Houston Marine on Lake Tenkiller. And I did change the trolling motor out. This is not the trolling motor that came with it. It does come with a Minn Kota, but I changed out to a Minn Kota Maximum. And here's the biggest thing that I did. If you look on here, 80-pound thrust. So I moved up to a 24-volt, 80-pound thrust. And this gives me lots and lots of power to move this boat around no matter what. I upgraded my locators. I put 7-inch locators. I put one up front and one on the console. And so then these locators will do just about everything that the great big locators will do. And you don't need a 12-inch on there. 7-inch locator. You can put a 12 if you want. But I just put a 7-inch and upgraded my locators front and back. And we move back here to the back. I'll jump up in that boat here in a minute and show you the compartments. You move back here at the back. One of the things you'll notice in looking at it from the outside is the big giant deck area. This is like a big old fiberglass bass boat. It's got a huge deck on it. I mean, a huge deck on it. And it's got a lot of storage compartments. I'll jump up here and talk about those here in just a second. But here's the big deal, is you've got a big platform. Another thing that I like about this particular boat, some aluminum bass boats have a very shallow area between the decks. So you've got your rods laying up here, and they're laying up like this high on some boats. So they're up here where actually you could, if you don't have them tied down good, and even while you're fishing, it's very easy to catch your toe and kick one overboard. And so it's, it's neat to me that you're down a little bit. So if you hit this boat, it's going to go against the side. You're not going to kick that rod and reel overboard. The boat's got cleats all the way around. It's got great cleats on it. These are cleats that are flop top cleats, I call them. I don't know really what they're called. They're probably called adjustable or movable or something. I call them flop top because you can flop the top back up, flop it back down. And the reason you want it that way, it's on boats that's got cleats that are up all the time. If you're in there and you're messing around and your rod gets up under there, you go to pick your rod up, you break your rod. Now, I've broken several that way in the old days when we had cleats that didn't smooth down where they're flush mount. So it's a flush mount. You pick your rod up, it doesn't matter. You're never going to break your rod on that. And it's got those front and back. It's got 4 of them, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. Good, high-quality seats. A lot of the aluminum boats got little bitty, inexpensive cleats that are just up here, and both ends sticking out, and the rods get under them, you break your rod. You pick your rod up, as soon as you pick it up, you hear it crack, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like saying a bad word. You can't take it back. All right, we go back here at the back, and we'll just stay on the outside real quickly. Of course, they come with Ranger. They come with Ranger builds a great trailer too. Obviously, they come with Tracker trailers, and these are just tremendously nice trailers. I've got green LED lights on mine, so when I'm running, it's lit up. Green LED lights, it's beautiful. Those are Blue Water Marine lights. Get back here at the back. Now here's something else I did back here at the back. This motor comes on there. This is 150 horsepower. You can get down and move down to 90 or 70. I think you can move as low as a 75 on this boat. But a lot of people put a 115. I put a 150. And the motor's a little dirty. I just fished out of it. But to put a 150 on there because this boat will run 53 miles an hour. 53 miles an hour. I've got a stainless steel prop. You put a stainless steel prop on here and you look at that prop. I've had this boat almost a year. This is a Tempest that I've got on here. I've had this boat just about a year, 24 pitch, and you can see my prop is not dinged up at all. Now, it's not dinged up because I don't hit stuff with it. It's not dinged up because it's a mercury stainless steel prop. And you can damage them, but if you had an aluminum prop on there, I probably would have gone through 2 or 3 props right now. So that's what I've got on there is a big 150 horsepower Mercury Pro X. That's a 4-stroke engine. All Mercury motors now are 4-stroke engines. I put a power pole on. Actually, most of the boats, and on my next year's model, I'm going to put 2 power poles on. I only put 1 on this boat. We're actually giving this boat away at the O'Reilly dealers meeting, our leadership conference in January. So one of the O'Reilly managers from their 5,000 plus stores will win this boat. One of the O'Reilly managers will be fishing out of this boat after January, as a matter of fact, after January. So anyway, that's what I do with the boat. That's I add this to it, and that's sort of the things I add. I had a better trolling motor. I had a couple of 7-inch locators, and I add a power pole, or 2. I think on next year's model I'm going back to 2. I've always had 2. I just thought I'd try it this one year with 1. So we'll jump up here in the boat and kind of take a look around. And let's just start right back here at the back. Go back here and look in the battery compartment. Again, what I've done here is I've put Super Start batteries in. Instead of the regular batteries, I put Super Start in, and I've got 3, since I've got a 24-volt trolling motor. I've got 3 Super Start batteries in. I can't remember how big that gas tank is. Y'all have to Google that up or something, but that's a really, really big gas tank right there. Now, since that gas tank is there, this is kind of a thing that I like neat about this boat. Since that gas tank is there, usually you have your battery charger back there, but the battery charger is right here in this boat, the Minn Kota. And I added this also. I think that, I don't know, that's a 3-bank. I don't know if it came with a 2-bank or a 3-bank, to be honest with you. I might have changed that out. I might not have. I just don't even remember. But anyway, Minn Kota 3-bank charger right there, so you can flop that open. You can watch and see if it's charging. I just sort of, when I'm charging batteries, I like to have the battery charger compartment and the battery compartment open. I just like to ventilate them out. I saw one time at a tournament, my buddy Ricky Green, who died a few years back. I spoke at his funeral and carried him to the grave. Ricky was unplugging. Back in those days, we didn't have these built-in battery chargers like Minn Kota has now. And he was doing the clips, and a battery blew up on him because that fumes had built up in the back of that that closed compartment in the back of his boat. He opened the compartment and went to undo the batteries, and a little spark, and the battery actually blew up on him, got in his face, and it's before daylight on a dock in a tournament, in a BASS tournament. And I grabbed him and threw him down there and started throwing water in his face, and he about got mad at me, and because he said, I can't see, and I knew that there's some acid had gotten in his eyes, and it actually didn't hurt him that bad. He was fine, but it was a dangerous situation. So I like to open the door that you got your battery charger in, leave it open while you're charging. I like to have that back compartment where the batteries are. That's just a little tip you can use in here. Here's one of the things that you're going to love if you catch fish. about a Tracker 195. They're giant live wells. That's a live well. You can take this insert out right here if you want and have one big giant live well. So if you're catching big northern or walleye or big giant fish, put back here, catfish, you can put a fish this long back here without any problem. We can put a fish this long back here without any problem. It's got a pump out system on it, aerated live wells, both live wells aerated, and they're big live wells because, again, you can take this centerpiece out right here. You can leave it in where you're using it in a tournament where you got one guy's fish here, one guy's fish here, or you can take it out and just have all your fish on it. So it's a well thought out live well system and a great live well system. I mean, just a great live well system. It's got timers on it, or you can just put it on automatic and let it run. And you can put it on manual, let it run constantly. Which I agree. I think if you're fishing a tournament, I think you need to let those aerators run them. When tournaments, I turn them on, leave them on. I don't use a timer in a tournament at all. You got a couple storage boxes over here. All I got in here is some water, some innate state water. That's a really good structured water right there, and I got a little ramp, you know, to block my tires on a hill. But you got 2 big boxes here. These boxes are all sealed boxes. You know, if you want to use these boxes for a little bit of an ice chest, you can. Just drill a hole in there so the water will drain out, and it'll drain right back in the bottom of the boat, and you can bilge pump it out. The boat comes with a really nice instrument panel. You got a speedometer, obviously. You got a battery indicator right there. You got a water pressure gauge, and you got a tachometer. So it's got a really nice panel, a beautiful dash on that thing. You got all your lights and timers over here. Now here's something that I've done. I put some interior lights on this also. not dark out here, but you can see those lights there. If it was a little darker, those are really, really bright. I've got green lights all the way around the inside of my boat. Just kind of dress it up. That's a O'Reilly green. That's O'Reilly green. That's what that is right there. I love it. My buddy Greg Johnson at O'Reilly, he loves it too. He likes O'Reilly green. Okay, move up here to the front. And as you can see, I've got rod and reels everywhere. Undo some of those, move that out of the way a little bit. I'm going fishing, is what I'm getting ready to do. You've got huge storage boxes. I mean, this is one of the, and you can see I've got, am I a spinnerbait fisherman? Am I a spinnerbait fisherman or am I a spinnerbait fisherman? Spinnerbaits laying everywhere. Found that bait in the lake the other day. Out fishing. Pretty good bait, got good hooks on it. It's caught a lot of fish, about worn out, got teeth marks all on it. One of my Tokyo rigs that my buddy David up in Kansas made and sent to me. There's another one right there. It's a little bit different length of wire on it. Okay, you got a big rod box right here. Look at the size of this rod box. And some of the Jimmy Houston blade rod and reels down there, and Camo rod and reels. Big rod box on this side, and this comes with rod holders on both ends for your tips and for your ends. Now you got a box just like this over on the other side. So we open this box up over here, and we have exactly the same situation. Another big giant rod storage box. I don't know what this holds. I guess it holds about 10 or 12 on each side. So this boat easily holds about 25 rods. Perfect, isn't it? Perfect, about 25 rods. And so you've got this. The seats in this boat, are on pedestals that simply screw out. It's got a hole here that you slips down into, screws down. It's got screws down on the bottom, so they take them in and out. Now what I like to do, you can see what I've done right here. What I like to do is I put an Orion ice chest up here, and I have it in about that position right there. And that way I don't have a big seat in my way, and I've got this here I can sit on. It works out really, really well. I fished this last week, and the reason this is still in here, I fished last week. Looky there. Still ice in this thing. I fished last Wednesday, so that was almost 10 days ago. It might have been Thursday. I fished maybe Wednesday and Thursday on Lake 10 Killer, and I put ice in there, and ice is still in there. I pulled a drain plug on it, left it sitting in the boat. I noticed it still was water back there, so still got ice in it. I'll go ahead and shut that box there and lay those rods. You can see I've got rod tie down holders on the front. They come standard in the boat where you can strap those rods down. And here's some of the great things. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 cup holders. You cannot have too many cup holders. Kind of like rod and reels and spinnerbaits. You can't have too many of them. And you can see I use cup holders to put weights. I've got some bullet weights right there. I got baits down in them. I use them for more than cups, obviously. This situation right here is real, where the ice chest really is. This is a really ice chest right down here. And you can see I had some guys the other day fishing, 3 guys, and so we filled this up and put ice in it, and got a bunch of drinks in here. That's not mine. It's not diet. But anyway, that's a good situation right there. Probably gonna get those out of there. The water everything started freezing up. But you got this right there. You can use for an ice chest, or you can use for whatever you want to use it for. And these 2 boxes here are just killer boxes. They are just killer boxes. Leave that in that couple. This is a big box here. You can see how big it is. I've got bags of baits in there. I've got a fire extinguisher in there. I've got all kinds of stuff down in that box right there. Now that box is a good one. This box I saved till the very end. This box is even bigger. Will you look at this box here? Got my life jacket down in there. I've got extension cord in there. I've got cushions. I've got bags. I've got a box in here that's completely full of lures. That's got bags and bags of baits in them, all kinds of baits. And so I got all kinds of baits in that right there. This goes up under there. I've got an extension cord in there and a bag up there. And so these will hold a lot of stuff, You can put several tackle boxes up in that box. So what you have is absolutely the finest aluminum bass fishing boat that's made. Now I've got I've got a Tracker 175 also, and it's a great boat. It's a 17-foot boat, a little over 17.6, I think. I think this one's like 19.2 or 19.4. Johnny Morse probably thinks that I should know these, but I imagine Don and Johnny don't know exactly how long they are either. But it's just as close as you can get to fishing out of an expensive fiberglass bass boat, except this is only about $25,000, depending on how you want to rig them out. And it's just absolutely, and it'll handle rough water. It's got that modified the deep V bottom on it, and it's just Revolution hull, and it's just amazing. So it's a tremendous bass fishing boat. I fish out of a lot, and I want to quit killing time and get out here and catch some fish today. So guys and girls, we're going to run through our Tracker 195. We're going to go out there. We've got strong winds. It's cold. It is up to about 40 something. It was down to 28, I think, this morning. So we don't know. It's after a cold front. It's going to be a hard day, but we'll see what happens out there. But if you like this video, share it with your friends. If you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel, be sure and subscribe. We do videos on Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and brand new videos. And plus, we're getting ready to start doing our Catch of the Day, which beginning in January will be a daily devotional every day that's got a scripture, a devotion, and a fishing tip for every single day of the year. So at the end of the year, you're going to know a lot more about God's Word. You're going to be encouraged every day, and you're going to learn a lot more about fishing. So share this with a bunch of your buddies out there. This YouTube channel is growing really, really rapidly. We thank you for that. Y'all have a great one. Later, guys and girls. I love you.